I don't chase men. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
still chasing. I do not chase men. I look, but I'm not chasing you, buddy.
I should know in my heart that you love me.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean buying me something every single day, although that would be great.
Why does love have such a profound effect on women's emotions?
I always say women are the epitome of love.
Mm-hmm.
Not that men can't be,
Mm-hmm.
but women are the epitome of love because
And welcome. Welcome to our podcast, Seasoned, Savvy, Saved. These are engaging conversations with seasoned, savvy, and saved women over 50 who are breaking barriers, following their passions, and boldly redefining what's possible today in this world. We got it going on, y'all. We got it going on. We got some good information for you today. So like, share, and subscribe to our channel. With us today, we have Aseneth Parker. She's a versatile creative powerhouse, an award winning storyteller. Her performance in David E. Talbert's film First Sunday to her directorial debut in the award winning documentary PSA Sarcoidosis Awareness. She's mastered the art of the narrative across every medium. She's a celebrated author of the allegorical tale Earthbound, which earned the Film Ready Novel Award from the Glory Reels Christian Film Award. She's a proud native of Detroit, Michigan. She's a mother and a grandmother who carries the light and legacy of her daughter, Kayla, into every project she touches. Welcome the expert behind the craft, Aseneth Peak Parker. Welcome, 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 lady.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for
Good-
that. I'm like, okay, who's she talking about? The stuff you named off. Thank you so much for inviting me to be here. I'm so glad to be here and to see you. And this topic, it's important to me. It's important to me, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for being a part. Also, I'd like to introduce another esteemed panelist, Leslie Boney. Today, we're sitting down with Leslie Felicia Boney. She's a longtime community leader turned skincare innovator. From her extensive background in social services to her work celebrating the strength of women in color through Gorgeous Brown Girl Skincare, Leslie has made it her life's mission to uplift others. Welcome, Leslie, as she shares her journey of turning a passion for service into building a thriving and accessible brand. Welcome, Leslie. Welcome aboard.
thank you. I was about to cry too. Like, who is she talking about? Lord.
Talking
Thank
about you,
you.
incredible women. I'm talking about you.
Thank you for
Listen,
having
today is Valentine's Day, as we both know it.
Yeah.
And I'm divorced. Aseneth, your status.
Divorced.
And Leslie, your status.
me. Married.
But we're really going to focus this podcast today on people that are single, people that are divorced, people that are looking for a second chance or a third chance or a fourth chance of relationships. We're not judging here because life's, that's what it does. But I want to talk a little bit about what Valentine's Day is. It's synonymous with romantic dinners, flowers, candy, love gestures. Keeping that thought in mind, though, it's also a reminder of what used to be. You know what I'm saying? What used to be, what we've lost, what we settled for, but
Yeah.
what we survived,
Yeah.
what we survived. The scars signify that we've gone through the healing process. We may still have the scars, but they're not, pus is not running out of them.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not fresh
Yes.
Heel
wounds.
scars.
They're healed. They're healed. They're healed. Today, in this time, right now, with the experience that we have, our conception of, I would say, a lifelong or romantic affair at this season in our life, it's no longer rooted in fantasy. We need something that's full of meat. I'm looking for transparency, compassion, truth, honesty, openness.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not this big wedding dress, flowers, bells. No, I want to get to behind. Let's pull back
Yeah.
the shade and let's get to the
Yes.
meat of the relationship, the meat of the people involved. You know, truth.
Yes.
That's
Absolutely.
important. That's important. I think I'm going to name this session The Big, Beautiful Blueprint of a Resilient Heart.
Wow.
That's good.
That's
The
very good.
big,
That's good.
beautiful
Yes.
blueprint of a resilient heart.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh,
Definitely resilient.
yeah, you have to be.
Yeah.
Let's start with some questions.
Mhm.
Can you tell us about your most memorial Valentine's Day, Leslie?
I would say for me, our Valentine's Day, because we've been married 25 years this year.
Ooh, praise
So
God.
we have a tradition that we do, and we've never really gone out for Valentine's Day because of the crowds and the 2 hour waits and things like that. So we have a tradition. We sat down and we decided, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna order pizza. We're gonna watch a movie. We're gonna play games. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk to each other. So my most memorable Valentine's days are spending that quality time. Watching TV, laughing, eating, probably overeating. Doing things that are fun, but can open the lines of communication for like major conversations.
Mm-hmm.
That is my most, when I think about Valentine's Day, that's what I think about. Yes, I'm gonna have candy, I'm gonna have flowers. I expect all that. I want flowers, I want candy, I want gift cards. I may not use them that day, but tomorrow I'll be out,
Come on.
I want all that, but
Mhm.
my most memorable Valentine's days are just, having fun with my family, and just sitting there and eating all my stuff and watching movies and having the quality time.
Is there like a specific movie? Do you watch like rom-coms, comedy, or romance, or just
N-
the
It's
whatever is
usually
trending?
it's usually a comedy or whatever is common,
Okay.
around that. If something new came out, then that's what we'll.
Okay. 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 Wonderful. Wonderful. Asina, name two things that come to mind when you hear the word romance.
Two things that come to mind: affection, connection, and I say fun.
Fine.
Fun. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. All right.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how I would describe a romantic evening. I like flowers.
Okay.
I like flowers. I love flowers. We don't have to go anywhere special.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, sometimes just an intimate dinner setting at home would be
Mhm.
would be like the ideal. Of course, give me a beautiful home. Don't put me in a
Mhm.
shanty.
I know that's right. Uh-huh.
That's
Don't
number
put me in
one.
a shanty, but
Yes,
but
Lord.
give put me in a beautiful home, and then if we could sit and just have a beautiful dinner, doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be our favorite food,
Mm-hmm.
but flowers, and let's just talk.
And
My love language is communication.
right.
Let's
Right.
communicate.
Right.
But that would be idea. But you gotta have some flowers in there somewhere. And I like
Yes,
a lot of flowers.
a lot.
I
Okay.
like a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like a lot because
So
I
for
love
the
flowers.
romance, um, I do like staying at home, like what Leslie said.
Mhm.
I'd like to sit around and watch a movie or something. It would be very nice to have someone cook for me, and or we cook together. But it's
Yeah.
all about togetherness with romance for me. That
Right.
that
Mm-hmm.
connection.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other thing? Romance and I said fun. So if it's during the day, um, going to the mall, just doing something together.
Mm-hmm.
Just doing something together. It's fun. Um, I do like to cross country ski. To do something like that
Mm.
would be great for me.
Okay.
Um, this activities. That's it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
That's good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. See, we're all kind of in the same.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
got to be some type of connectedness.
Mm-hmm.
We got to connect somewhere.
Yeah.
We have
Right.
to have some things in common. We don't have to like the same things. Opposites do attract, but we've got to have some medium, some happy medium. We
Right.
both like to eat. We
Mm-hmm.
both like to converse. And you're willing to bend a little to do something that I like that you may not like, and vice versa.
Yeah. That's
And vice
important.
versa.
That's
Yeah.
Yes.
important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I want to talk about we're going to move on, the history of Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
Did you know that Valentine's Day was not always Valentine's Day? it was a pagan Roman holiday. Lupercalia was the name of it.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And the way they celebrated is it was celebrated through a god, a Roman god.
Mm-hmm.
The Greek god is Pan, but it's a god of fertility. And so on that day, oh, and also the celebration lasted 2 days, February 13th through February 15th. So the men would take the women's names or
Mhm.
an object from a woman and put it in a jar. And then they will pull out the object or the name to find out who they would pair up with.
Oh,
Oh, that's special.
Special.
that's different.
But wait a
Right.
minute, wait a minute. What if somebody pulled your name that like what if Igor pulled your name?
You just gotta wing it. Just
Oh
wing
no, I
it.
didn't think Igor. What if Igor pulled your name
You wing it.
and you gotta be with Igor?
You just gotta
Oh.
wing it.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
that
gotta
was
wing it.
Lupercalia,
yeah.
it would be over, honey. It would be
Yeah.
over. I'm sorry. It will be over. I don't know what the penalty will be for breaking the tradition, but Igor, no, Igor,
Failed.
go to the back
Yeah,
room.
failed.
Go pull again.
Failed.
Go pull again. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the history of
You
it.
know what? I'm sorry. Oh,
What?
okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I read that in Japan they celebrated for 2 days as well.
Mhm.
The
Really?
first day, the first day, the woman buys or gets something for the guy. And then, no, and I'm sorry, it's 2 days, but it's in 2 months. So the woman in February she would go get something, she'd celebrate and give it to the guy. But in March 14th, he gives her whatever it is that she wants. And then they extend it out like that. I kind of like that idea of the 2 day thing. I guess I don't know how extensive that could go. I mean, what's expected if you're going to give it somebody? I mean, how well you know them, what to give them, and like what you said. Is it just strangers walking in and give you something? Is that how that's supposed to work? Or because Igor is not working for me. I'm sorry,
No,
that's
no.
not working for me.
What just came to mind is, we were in elementary school. It was different then than now. But if somebody liked you on Valentine's Day, they would leave like a little trinket on your desk.
Yeah.
A little note.
It would be a note, but sometimes it would be candy. The teachers would pass out little candies, little hearts, or chocolates. And sometimes they would leave something on your desk. But I remember getting some chocolate and it was smashed. Like the earth, it was half melted.
That was terrible.
So yeah, it's different. It's different. But Valentine's Day was actually turned into a Christian holiday in AD 496. There was this African pope. They don't talk about it. They tell us about this. Pope Gelasius or Galatius. He was of the Catholic Church, and he changed that day, Lupercalia, into just one day where you just celebrate the romantic love of your life. And again, that was in 496. So, and he was Black. I said, I didn't know. When I was researching, I had no idea. No idea. He was the 49th Pope of the Catholic Church.
Wow.
The 49th
Never
Church.
heard that before in my life.
Yeah. And he was African. He lived on the North Africa coast.
Wow. So he's been the only African American or African Pope then in the Catholic Church, right?
They say we have three. They said that there were three.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
three. Because the current one now he has African roots.
Right.
I don't know who the second one is. I don't know. But total three. But with that said, do you think Valentine's Day today has lost its meaning or its prominence? Do you think it's celebrated as much now as maybe 10 years ago or 20 years ago? Or even back in the beginning when it was created?
I think it's more so celebrated now. It's become very popular, with married people and single people. They start putting out Valentine's Day stuff right after Christmas. So I think it's really popular now. Everything is red and Valentine's Day before you can even get the Christmas bulbs off the trees. So I think it's more prominent now than it was.
that's the commercial process.
Yeah.
The stores are pushing you to buy. Do
Yeah.
you think that the setups in each store, do you think that influences people to remember Valentine's Day?
I think
Or
it does. I think it does, especially for, like some brothers, some men are not, they're just not there. I think that might help them and make it easier for them because
Mhm.
the displays are there. They can get ideas from there.
Yeah.
Um, I guess it depends on what community you're in as to how important Valentine's Day is.
Okay.
For
Okay.
women of a certain age, the big ages,
Mhm.
it might be a little bit different.
Hmm.
It may have been a long time since they celebrated or someone even gave them a card.
Right.
It's a little bit different as you cross a certain line. In the age wise.
Yeah.
As far in men, I wonder, men of a certain age, do they ever think about Valentine's Day? Let's just say if they're single and they have somebody, of course they will. But single men, I don't think they ever think about Valentine's Day. It's
I don't think so
moot
either.
point.
They need those prompts from each store to
Yeah.
say, "Oh, this is Valentine's Day." Can I ask you, when is the last time that you've been on a Valentine's Day date, Asina?
Why you got to ask me that? No, I'm just playing.
You know what? I'm going to share mine too.
Oh.
So because I'm going to share mine too.
Okay, it's been a while. Um, I'm gonna say it's been about 5 years, and it wasn't really somebody that I was dating. He was just a great guy, and he remembered. And
Okay.
so he just, gave me some little flowers. I'm not really into flowers like you,
Mm-hmm.
but he did cook. And
All right.
so I like that. I do like that. So yeah, that was me. And I'm not even gonna give you the number because it's been a hot minute. Let's just say
Mhm.
maybe a hot decade. Maybe.
No shame. You never know. Somebody might be watching this video and say, "That is the lady of my dreams."
Yes.
You
You
never
never
know. We
know.
don't know. We
That's
don't
true.
No.
know.
That's
But
true.
it's not Igor. Igor,
No.
stay up.
No. That's not
Igor.
you.
I was asking because somebody sent me a text yesterday. His name is Larry Sims. He plays in the group Sounds of Blackness.
Mhm.
And he sent me a text and he said, "Hey, this is your long lost brother," because I haven't seen him like forever. And he
Mhm.
said, "Happy Valentine's Day." And I thought, how sweet, how
That was
sweet. For
nice.
Oh.
the last, I haven't been on a Valentine's date, and my God, uh, do I want to?
Yeah. How long has it been?
Probably 1994.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're going to
yeah.
have to fix that.
Yeah. You got to work
1994.
on that.
Because I was divorced in 95. And to
Right.
be honest, I don't even know what we did. I can't even remember. It must not have been Memorial because I don't
You
even
forgot.
remember what we
Forgot.
did or what happened. But I do remember a few years ago, a young man at my job on Valentine's Day. He came to my desk. I was a trainer, and he came up to my desk and he had a white chocolate Valentine's Hershey bar. And it has
Oh,
strawberries in it. And the cover was strawberries. And he said, "Hey, Miss Pat, happy Valentine's Day." And he put it on my desk.
that was
And I thought
sweet.
that
That was
was so
nice.
sweet. That was
That
so
was
sweet.
very
But
sweet.
yeah, but date, no. Valentine, not. It's been a long time, child. I don't even remember.
So let me tell you what happened yesterday. I opened my door, and there was a cute little card right in front of my apartment, and there was a little bag of candy,
That was nice.
and it was sealed with a gold heart. It
Oh,
was so cute. I don't know the person,
Hmm.
oh,
but that was so sweet.
oh, she got a secret love.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I don't. Wait a minute. The way it was written, the card on the outside, I mean, on the inside of the card, no, it's not anybody I'd really be interested in romantically because if they are of a certain age and they write like that,
Right.
something's wrong. Something's wrong.
It's okay. He may be just a little.
Right. But we appreciate the thought.
I
Yes.
do, and it was written in a card. So I mean, in a crayon. So I'm thinking
Oh.
it was a little child that did it. But
Oh,
when I
but see,
first saw the card and the candy, I thought
it's the thought that
it was the
matters.
It's the
It's the
thought.
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 I like
Yeah.
little things, little things.
Yeah.
You don't have,
Mhm,
I am fancy kind of,
mhm.
but the little things matter. It's the little
Yeah.
things that always, like when God does something, I'm like, oh my God, that was little. I
Yeah.
love that. It gets my heart. The little
Yeah.
stuff, the little stuff.
Mhm,
Uh,
mhm.
do you think, and this is for both of you, do you think that love needs a reminder or a day on the calendar?
Should not if it's true,
Yeah.
if it's real, if it's authentic. No, because everybody doesn't celebrate. Couples don't always celebrate Valentine's Day, but they do it throughout the year.
Yeah.
Right.
Like little things, like you were saying, just leave a little note or do
Mhm.
something special.
Yeah.
That's the way I think it should be, so it wouldn't be necessarily reminded of that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should be every day. I don't think that it should be, oh, it's Valentine's Day, I need something to show me that you love me. No.
Yes.
It should
Yes.
be every single day I should know in my heart that you love me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't mean buying me something every single day, although that would be great.
Yes.
But no, you don't have to do that. Just me knowing that you love me and you care about me, every single day is enough.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
For
That's what I
you?
say. For me, gestures. I don't need gifts, just gestures.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, how are you? You're beautiful.
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
love you today.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
sometimes just a touch,
Yeah.
a word, but
Yeah.
communication.
Mhm.
Um, I'm big on, do you remember when we did, was that fun? Because
Oh
sometimes
yeah.
I'll say, remember when
Mhm.
we did this? If it was fun to them, they'll remember it and it'll start a big conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
then I'll say, okay, what can we do to top that?
Right.
It's like
Okay.
you have to
Mhm.
always put something in to keep the relationships together, like
Mhm.
gel together, like peanut butter and jelly. We got to
Right.
stay
Yeah.
together. We got to stick.
Right.
What do we have to move out? Let's get these crunchy nutted little nuts out of this peanut butter so that we
Mhm.
stick a little bit better.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
The intentionality of it. I mean, there has
Yeah.
to be intention.
Yes.
Nothing
Yeah.
works. Everything's not spontaneous, but like
Mhm.
you're saying, and Leslie, like if this little bitty little things, I
Right.
mean, seriously, a guy came to fix my car once and he didn't charge me. I didn't know he liked me,
Mhm.
but that was a thing. That was his way of
Yeah.
showing me that he cared. Little
Right.
things.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's move on. We've got a topic, love and the heart. When the love is rich and when the echo fades. When the love is rich, but when the echo fades.
Mm.
And I say that because many of us have seen relationships that unraveled or been a part of relationships that unraveled, even when we hoped for something better or put in all of our effort to try and make that thing work. But
Mhm.
experience taught us that it costs something to remain in a relationship. It costs something, you've got to pour out more of
Mhm.
you into that relationship in order to make sure that thing gels together. And then we have to make sure we're with the right person that we're pouring into
Mhm.
and receiving from the right person. I had a statement. The seasoned heart understands the liability that cohabitates with opening one's heart to give and receive true love again.
That's a
Yes.
There's
that's
a
a good
cost.
statement.
There's a cost to it,
Yes.
It
and you
is.
have to be real willing to pay that cost.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you've been in a relationship and it didn't pan out, there's a whole bunch of emotional stuff there.
Mhm.
And to begin a new relationship based on what you just came out of,
Yeah.
the trust, it might be hard to trust again. And so you're looking for integrity. That's important. You're looking for integrity.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't see that integrity, that's even going to make you stand back a little bit more. But everyone wants that closeness. You
Yes.
want it, and if you're brave, and if
Yeah.
you're trusting God,
Yeah.
okay, is this okay, Lord? Should I take the next step?
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and then it's interesting that question. That's a very good
Yeah.
question and good statement, girl.
So my
Yeah.
next question is, why does love have such a profound effect on women's emotions?
Because we're givers. We're givers.
Mm-hmm.
We are I always say women are the epitome of love.
Mm-hmm.
Not that men can't be,
Mm-hmm.
but women are the epitome of love because we are more emotional. We are quicker to open up to a
Mm-hmm.
relationship. We're quicker to be head over heels. So yeah, I would say that's the reason
I,
for me.
I I agree, and also I will add the physiological side of it.
Mhm.
Hormonally, we're made up differently.
Yeah.
Our hormones, people laugh about our hormones, and they can cause some issues. But
Mhm.
when it comes to love, we're wired for that.
Mhm.
We're wired to love. I'm not saying men are not,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
just like you were saying about women, that's just what we do. We're givers, that we give, and that means the heart is in the giving.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on, Pat, because
Yeah.
when we go giving,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men are wired to, they look at us, oh, I like how she looks. I like her hair. I like her
Right.
body. But we're looking at something else. It could be little signs that internally we know we like about men. I like intelligent men. So if you're intelligent and you're, fine, I'm gonna
Right.
I'm gonna take a second look. And I might take a third look.
And
But
of course,
then I'm going to sit back because I'm not going to approach you. I don't approach men. You
right.
have to approach me, and you have to approach me a certain way. So, yeah, it's something. It's
Now
something.
you just touched on something there, and I was going to ask that question because I've heard brothers say to me, "No, I like a woman to approach me. They have to approach me first." Well,
Mm,
I was never raised like that, to approach a man
right.
first. So if he's waiting for me, what are we
You're gonna be
doing?
waiting. Yeah.
Because I need to know you want me.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not wired for the chase. I can look
No.
now. I'm going to look at you with my eyes. I
Yeah.
remember one time, me and a gal pal, we were going downtown to eat dinner. No, lunch. It was daytime. It was lunch. And she called me up. She said, "Hey, let's go eat lunch. Let's go to Fishbones." And I said, "Okay." We get down there and we had to park. You know how downtown used to be? You had to park like 2 blocks.
Right.
Fishbones was crowded. We had to park maybe 3 blocks away, and we're walking. And as we get to Fishbones, this man was coming across the street. And she saw him and I saw him at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of us said anything, but we were like, whoa. Like, it was like boom. I
Mm-hmm.
He was an intellectual. He was tall. He had on a trench coat, business attire. And then we looked at each other and we bust out laughing. And I said, "Girl, come on." I said, "Let's get in this restaurant. That man probably got AIDS."
Oh no.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Straight to the negative. Straight negative.
No, because he had some kind of
Straight negative.
charisma that
Yeah.
we got engulfed in it. We were like, "Oh, Jesus, where did you come from? Where have you?" It's like, "Where have you been all my life?" And I said, "Girl, we cannot get wrapped up. Something just went by. We can't get wrapped up in it. He has AIDS. Let's go in here and eat this food."
Okay, so what's funny about that is that the conclusion, you started laughing and you drew the conclusion because something had to be, you figured something had to be wrong. But
Was
my
wrong.
question is, why does something have to be wrong? What was that based on?
That was a protector. That was like a shield that went up. It was a
Right.
shield
Right.
automatically.
Mhm.
Right.
Reel it back in. Because this man didn't say anything to you. He
Right.
hasn't given any indication that he's even seen either one of you. So reel it back in.
So do you think, that safety, that defense, that comes from previous hurts and pains, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
how do you think women can get past that?
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that.
Come on, girl. Okay.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Why do you think relationships fail? Do you think that it's honesty, devotion, or the wrong partner?
It could be all of them or none of them. It could be uh it's just our season is just over,
Do you,
and it's
do you
nobody
think
it's
that's
nobody.
possible though? Our season is over?
Absolutely. Yeah, our season
Okay.
is over. You
Okay.
maybe someone was in your life for a season, or maybe you picked someone, like they say, you pick someone for now, you didn't pick someone for your future.
Stop
And
right there.
so
Stop right there. Stop right there. Why do we not look at where, like men?
mm,
I was looking at a show and a man chose a girl and then he talked to her. It was
mhm,
a reality show,
Mm-hmm.
Ready to Love. And at the end, he told her, he said, after choosing you and then getting to know you a little bit better, after the second or third week, I realized that you fit my now, but you and your children don't fit where I'm going.
Wow.
okay.
And she was hot about it. She was mad about it. And so I said that why do we choose partners for now and not take full, how can I say, take an assessment of ourselves, not just where we are now, but where we're going. Does that man fit where we're going to be in 10 years? Or do we even see ourselves 10 years down the line? Do we envision where we're going to be 10 years down the line?
Yeah, I think for me, because this is my second marriage, okay? So for me, out of experience, my first marriage, I totally picked a person that I felt was good for me at that moment. I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
any of the knowledge about, the Lord and your future and your destiny. I didn't know any of that at the time. So I picked someone who was good for me at that moment,
Mm-hmm.
not realizing, a couple of years later, then I came into the knowledge of, well, down the road, you're destined, you're called, you're this, you're that. Well, then you realize that now I'm stepping into what God called me to be, and the person that I'm with is not matching that. He's not matching.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was just because I just didn't have the knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
of where I was, where I was going. I didn't have that. So that was it for me.
I understand that.
Yeah.
When I was when younger, that was the same thing. Love. Oh, this is wonderful. Stars. Birds around my head and all that kind of stuff. And then we get married and we settle in, and then somewhere along the line, reality stepped in,
Hmm.
and so the second time going in with Christ in my life, going in more mature, and still there was, see, that's the other thing about relationships. When women are praying for Lord to send Lord, help him find me, Lord, that kind of thing. Um, but who do we want to find us?
Mm.
Yes.
Because there's more than a good look.
Hmm.
Yes.
There's even more than being
Yeah.
saved.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
What about the emotional background?
Yes.
What if they've been devastated, or there's mental illness? Maybe they're neurodivergent. You have no way of knowing that. And
Right.
as we
Yes.
get older, we don't get to like, we approach it differently. We
Yes.
know how to ask the right questions, not like we're interviewing anybody, but
But we are.
we
Yeah.
are. There you go.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 That's so true. That's so true. I think my first marriage, I was married 5 years. It lasted 5 years,
Mhm.
but it was a relationship out of loneliness, I always wanted to be married. That was my goal. I always wanted to be married, and it never happened. And then when I met this person on the outside, he looked good, but behind the scenes, it was not so good.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and because we didn't live in the same state, I wasn't able to see the full essence of who he was until we started to live together. And when that happened, I thought, I am in trouble. I am living in California and I am in trouble. Really, I am in trouble. It was devastating. It was a wake up call, really a wake up call. That I needed to get in tune with me and look beyond like emotions, being alone or worrying about what other people. My mom used to always say, "You should be married. You should be married." Everybody would. You should be married. You should be married. I remember walking through a mall. And two guys, no, it was a restaurant on a break, lunch break. And two guys were in this restaurant. It was a buffet. And one of them walked up to me and he said, he said, "You're pretty. Are you married?" I said, "No." He said, "You're not married?" And he looked at all the other women. And he said, "I'm not asking them." Because I was like, "Are you going to ask them too?" He said, I'm asking you. He said, "You could be married." He said, "But you just need to slow down and pay attention to who you are." That's how he didn't know me.
Wow.
He did not know me. He said, "Slow down and pay attention to who you are. You could be married."
Yeah.
But I always wanted to be married.
Wow.
Always wanted to be married. Always just wanted to have I'm not going to say it was fantasy or fairy tale, but that was like be married, be settled, have children, travel the world, have a beautiful home, have a loving relationship. You know what I'm saying? It all fit together. For me, it was, I never saw it. My mom was divorced early. So I never really saw that within our home, but I saw it outside of the home.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that's the life that I want to have. That's the life.
See, that makes sense. And a gentleman told me a few years ago in California, my daughter and a friend said, "Oh, I'd like a bottle of water." And so they got it. He went over and got it for them. And so about 30 minutes later, I thought, I need some water. So I got ready to get up. And he said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm just going to get a bottle of water." And he said, "Why? You could have had water then. So why are you getting up now? All you had to do was ask me." He brought the water to me and then he said, "You know what? You are too low maintenance." He said, "You're not looking at yourself the way other people are." And for us as of a certain age, you can get to the point where you can feel invisible.
Yeah.
Because culture is so different now. And I realized too, making new friends when you get to be a certain age, that's not as easy. It's hard to make start a friendship with somebody that you're meeting at a certain age. And that was so shocking to me. Like, why don't women have close friends? Why don't they get new friends?
Yeah.
It's very difficult to create new relationships when you get to be a certain age. I understand high school, went to school with your high school people. College, you went to school with them, you still see them every now and then, or you keep in touch. But as you get older and you meet people in this sphere, I'm sorry. Can you see me okay? My light went off.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. So when you get to be a certain age, it's different. It's a little bit different now. Starting friendships. Oh, okay. We're gonna keep on. I don't know what happened, but okay.
Let's move on to our next category.
Yes.
Let's take a quick 2-minute break.
Okay.
2-minute break. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, something did happen with your light. It got a little dim there.
It did, and I don't know why I hadn't touched it, but anyway, let's.
Is it power? Look at your power button. Is your power? How much power do you have?
Yeah, I got power, but I think, and I've got power on my computer too. I've got 55. Nope, that might have been it. I only have 35%, and I just chart. Oh, you know what? I think what we're doing is probably wearing this battery down.
It is. So charge it up. You got to charge your cord.
My charger, yeah, I can. I'm gonna have to finagle some things to do that, but I'll be right
Okay,
back.
plug it up.
Yep.
Plug it up. Yeah, I could tell it went down just a little bit. Well, ladies, we've had some engaging conversation. Let's move on to the next segment, relationships that didn't last. And we kind of already went into that. We discussed it. But I have a question. Do people walk away too quickly or do they stay out of fear?
Fear of being alone. I think women who are in relationships and it might not be the best, even if it's been a long relationship, I think they stay out of, I guess I would be fear.
Fear. Mm-hmm.
What's out there for me if I go, even in abusive relationships? You know, I mean, I know the dynamics of that is completely different, but where do I go? You know, what's going to happen? Unless, of course, he's just a jerk, you know, and you just hit it up to here with the jerk. But I think they stay out of fear, fear of what could happen to them, what might happen, what might be on the other side of that financially, even emotionally. You know, that could be it. Fear. Yeah, I'm gonna say fear.
Is infidelity a deal breaker for you? Either one of you?
Yes. It is.
Yes.
I hear people say, you know, all the time, oh, well, you know, if you've been married 35 years and he cheated one time and you can give him you're going to throw all that time in the garbage because he cheated one time. Yeah, because if you did it once, you're going to do it again. And for me, it's like, I don't know, this is just my personality, just me. I am not afraid to start over. Like, you know, we moved a lot. When I was a little girl, we moved, you know, moving to a new place. Okay, let's go, you know. So I'm used to moving. So I'm not one of those people that say, oh, I'm just gonna stick it out, you know, for the rest of my life because it's the best thing to do. And no, I do not have a problem starting over. I think that some of the best parts of my life have been because I had to start over.
Yes.
Was it painful? Yes. Did I want to do it? No. Did I want to lose this? No, I didn't. But for some reason, God had me start over because it was just what had to happen. So yeah, sometimes out of fear, sometimes like Asena said, it may be financial, it may be children, it may be the fear of not knowing what's going to happen once I get out there. You know, it could be a lot of things.
You know, Leslie, you said that you made me think of a situation where there was infidelity in my marriage, and it was a hard thing. You know, we talked about it. We didn't do any counseling or anything, but at some point, I decided we had 2 children, and okay, I'm gonna stay. But here's the thing, I said to him, but I can never trust you again. So the relationship was technically done.
Over. Yeah.
Infidelity is a deal breaker for me. That's a no. It's a no. Nothing just happens. I'm sorry. Nothing just happens.
Yeah.
I have counseled men and actually stepped in the way of certain men that I knew that had inappropriate relationships with women. And I knew that it was going to lead to something else. And I told them, your relationship with this particular woman, you say she's your friend, but this is more than a friendship. Men always say, oh, that's my friend. But women always say, on the inside, that's my man. I'm going to get that man. That's my man. And I told him, I said, this particular woman she's out to, she's got a mission, honey. And this to get you naked. That's the mission. No, I had to tell him I had to break it down because he was a minister. I said,
Okay.
you'll mess up. She
Mhm.
wants you naked in bed with her.
Mhm.
It's all over her. And I
Yeah.
remember being in church and he was sitting behind me and she was in the back. And as soon as church was over, she ran up to the front. Well, she ran all the way down to the front, turned around and looked at him. And I stepped out in the middle aisle and he stepped out and he was going to leave. And she ran to the front to see where he was. She couldn't see him from the back. And
Okay.
then she was approaching him. And I stepped in the middle aisle and I turned around. I turned my back to her and to him. And I said, now run. And he stood at me and he had to think about it. He was thinking because he knew. And he said,
Mm.
I said,
Wow.
run. And
Mhm.
then he ran. And she couldn't catch him. But that didn't stop it. You know, the relationship is leading up to something
Yeah.
inappropriate way before.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
are signs and signals way before, way
Yeah.
before. So, yeah, infidelity, no. That's why my marriage ended. No, that is a big no. Leave, get your stuff out. I'm gonna help you
Right.
back right
Mhm.
now.
Mhm.
And file for divorce. You file. You pay the attorney. I'm not
Right.
paying. You did it, so you file. But no, you cannot come back here. Yes, you can have your things. I do not want your things. I have my own things.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
yes, definitely, it is over. There's too much disease. I think about me.
Right.
There's too much disease.
Yeah, we're not playing.
The emotional
No.
disconnect trying to get my head back together after
Mhm.
hearing that you have been with someone else and you're supposed to
Yeah.
be exclusively mine
Right.
that's a
Mhm.
big no. That
That's
is
a
a big
no.
no. So
Yeah.
I value my mind, my mental health, my body,
Yes.
my health. So no, no.
Right.
And I don't hate you, but no, you are not the one for me.
No.
Because
Mhm.
if I could remember, this is a true story. I could remember when I lived in California, I worked in Salinas and we
Mhm.
only had one car. And sometimes I had to catch the bus to work. And there was, by the bus stop, there was a strip mall. And there was a men's clothing store in that strip mall. Well, I think every Wednesday and Friday, I caught the bus. Well, the owner of the clothing store was a man from Egypt. He had been watching me. I didn't know. And he walked from the store to the bus stop where I was sitting and introduced himself and started talking to me. Told me that he owned the store, just telling me everything. And he made this a regular habit. Well, after about 3 or 4 times of him coming out there, he asked me to go out with him. And I told him, I said, I'm married. I'm not going out with you. He said, I know you're married. He said, but I don't care about that.
Mm.
And I
Mhm.
thought, what kind of woman would I be?
Yeah.
But then he said something very profound. It's like he tried to create a crack to get in. What kind of husband would let you catch the bus?
Mm.
Mhm.
Where's your husband?
Mhm.
Where's your
Mhm.
husband? And the funny part about it was that next weekend, me and my husband went to the mall. He had a clothing store in the strip mall. I didn't know he had a store at the mall. So my husband goes into this store this men's store to buy a shirt. And this
Mhm.
guy's in there and he's looking at me like, there you are.
Wow.
There you are. And he
Wow.
walked straight up to my husband. I'm so and so. What's your name? And I thought, wow, wow. Now, if I was a different other kind of woman, like a
Yeah.
gold digger or,
Yeah.
I'm after finances,
Mhm.
I would
Mhm.
have, no, nah, I'm just not built like that. If I'm in a relationship, I'm in it with you
Right.
exclusively.
Mhm. Mhm.
And if it ends,
Absolutely.
guess what? It's not going to end because of another person.
Right.
Right.
Another person. No.
Right. Yes.
I'm faithful. I'm just faithful.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I don't know if it's the fear of God, but there's
Mhm.
something in me. It has to be something like a
Yeah.
kingdom seed that uh, you're faithful. You're gonna be
Yeah.
faithful.
Yeah.
Faithful.
Absolutely. And
So you
and
are.
people don't realize that is a thing. I had a friend who told me it was about integrity. And he said if you walked into a bank and there was a bunch of money in there and there was nobody there and they said, you could have it, just go ahead and take it. And I thought, well, it's not mine. Why would I take it? He goes, well, you take it because it's there. And I go, no, I would not. And so from that point on, I knew there was an issue with integrity there.
Mhm.
Right.
Because if you think I would do something like that,
Yes. Yes.
see,
Yeah.
see,
Yes.
that's the issue. And when
Yes.
we these people relationships, when you start them, and like you mentioned about disease and things like that, there's so many things. God, night, this culture is so different from when I was dating back in the day. This culture is completely different now.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we, like when we were little or younger, dating, there was no such things as AIDS back then. There was no such things at all. We knew about other, venereal diseases, but those things were like the worst things.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
no. And then
Whole lot.
being women of God, that comes into play too.
Yes.
Excuse me, like I said, I can't understand how with somebody because you just this and you just all. I said, no, you're not gonna understand that.
Yeah.
Because it's my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I want to please God, and
Yeah.
that's all there is to that. So
Yeah.
if you don't understand that, you're not the one.
You're not.
Yeah. That's true. I remember my daughter, when my daughter was in junior high school, yeah, high school. A lot of boys liked her. She was very famous
She's
because she
pretty.
was very cute. And I told her, I said, my video just stopped.
I can
Did it?
see you.
Is it
Yep.
moving? It just
Yeah.
froze. It just
I
froze
can.
on my, okay.
You're
It froze
moving
on
over
mine.
here. Oh
Okay,
no,
it
you're
I
froze
can
moving
on
with
see
us.
you. Yeah.
yeah. But I told her, I said, boys they will pay attention to you because you're a pretty girl. I said, but keep your body intact.
Mm-hmm.
When they ask, and they will ask, say no. Say
Right.
no. I
Right.
can't tell you, it's your body. I can't
Right.
tell you what to do or what not to do, but I'm giving you this suggestion. Say no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
said, because once you start, this is how boys are in high school. Once you start, another boy is going to say, "Hey, I like her." Another boy is going to say, "Oh, I slept with her," and it's going to get around. You'll have all this attention, and you think it's towards you. No, it's because they know that you were loose.
Right.
Right.
That you were
Right.
open door. You were open, so they're going to take turns.
Right.
And she took heed. She took heed, and I'm grateful for that. But yes, infidelity. That's a no, no, no,
Yeah.
no. Keep it zipped, buddy. Keep it zipped. Zip it at home, but keep it zipped all at all times. But my next question is, can love really exist without trust?
No.
Mm-mm.
No. No. I can't see it happening.
Mm-mm.
Because in order for me to love you, I have to trust you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could care about you.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
care about anybody. But in
Yeah.
order for me to be fully in love with you, I have to be able to trust you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do all things perfect? No.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to be able to trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at some statistics on women. Did you know that we have 60 million women in the United States over the age of 50?
Mm.
60 million.
60 million. Wow.
60 million. Mhm.
That's a
And the
lot.
most of the women come from the age group of 65 and up. There are 32 million women that are age 65 and up in the United States,
Wow.
and only 47% of those women are married.
Wow.
So that means 53% of those women could possibly be looking to engage in a relationship, looking towards remarrying. Astounding numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what number you have to look at this.
That's
Mentally, are they mentally ready at that age to be with another person, live with another person? And is there a man at that age, in that age group, that is ready to take on the responsibility of being married to a older woman?
That's a good point. I have a friend who there was a gentleman that liked her, and she wasn't really into him like that, but he was a very nice guy. And but he had a physical disability, and the thought of having to take care of him
Mm.
was a no.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, um, but it turned out later that she wound up with a physical ailment.
Mm.
but he passed. Now they never got married,
Okay.
but the thought of, and this is really a good topic right here.
Yeah.
Because when you get to be older, maybe you've got hypertension, maybe you're diabetic. And you might meet somebody with hypertension or diabetes, or because when your body is older.
Yeah.
So do you want to do that? I mean, are you looking for somebody younger? You want somebody younger to speak to you? And if somebody younger spoke to you, you got to deal with that because you still have your age and your issues.
Right.
So the relationship, putting that together, that's going to take God for real.
Right. Would you date somebody younger? You're in your 70s.
Yes.
I'm in my 70s. Would you date somebody younger?
I would, but I kind of have a limit. When in California, there was this gentleman who was interested, and he really was interested. And I said, listen, I don't think this is going to work. And he said, I just want to take you dancing. Okay, no, I think it's going to work. He was 20 years younger than I was.
Whoa.
And now that's too much. That's
Okay.
way too much. To
Okay.
marry someone who's younger than my son, that's a deal breaker for real. I would say somebody maybe within 10 years.
Okay.
Younger.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard the statement that the man that has money is, if he's 80, he's automatically 60 if he has money.
Yes. He might be 50, depending on how much money you got. I'm just saying. I had to throw that out there. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a 10, maybe 10. No, 10. No further than 10.
Okay.
Would you?
I say maybe 10 years. 10 years, maybe. He'd have to be mature. We'd have to have a lot in common. You know what I'm saying? We'd have to both talk about, he'd have to be physically, because some young men still got some physical problems.
Yeah, this is true.
Physical problems are not attached to age.
This is true.
I've seen some 20, 30-year-old men, 40-year-old men that have some problems.
So do you think
in the workplace, I had
yeah.
teams as a trainer. Well, Miss Pat, I got to get up because I got this problem and I got to go to the bathroom but you're like 40, in the back of my mind, I'm like,
that's a problem. That's
there might be some herbs, but we're in the workplace. I can't say anything. But I'm kind of forward. I'm gonna give you some suggestions. Go see a doctor. But yeah, those problems happen to men in their 40s now.
Yeah.
So just take note.
So yes. So can I just twist it just a little bit?
Yes.
I want to twist it to the church culture.
Okay.
So a woman in church that's 50, 60, 70, if she's trying to stay within the church culture, what percentage is there? And then there's, this is going to go someplace else because there's that desperation issue.
Yeah.
And we both seen that.
Yeah.
Women being desperate because they're like 50 or 60. Some women are real desperate at 70 because they don't know who they are, or they don't know the aspects of what they bring, what God has given them to bring them. So they're not looking at themselves as the vessel God created them to be.
Yes.
So they might opt for something that's not right for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. That's how we're going to close out. You're really going in the path that I am taking this. That's how we're going to close. We do not have to settle.
There you go.
Number one. And number two is we got to be whole. We have to be whole.
Absolutely.
And if not, work on it. We're a work in progress. I'm still a work in progress. But I want to make sure that everything there is no hole. If there's a void, I'm going in prayer. Fill up that void because that makes me vulnerable.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be with somebody because I'm vulnerable or
Right.
desperate, or I see a leak and I don't know how to fill it. And I think that a
Mhm.
man is going to feel that. No, that is that relationship is
Yeah.
headed downhill.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
headed downhill quick. And
Mhm.
that's how women get their feelings hurt because
Right.
they went into something that knowing in the back of your mind, you knew in the beginning that was not a match,
Mhm.
but it's settled. You
Right.
settled.
Right.
And we don't have to settle.
Right.
Doesn't
That's
have anything to do with our age or how we look.
right.
Now I'm moving into another segment, but it doesn't have anything to do with how we look or our age or our body size.
Mhm.
We're enough. We are enough just the way we are.
Absolutely.
Just
Yep.
the way we are. If we could ever get that in our mind that we're enough,
Yes.
we're enough. What we have is enough.
Yeah.
So
I like to say, I'm sorry to cut you off.
no,
I
no, no.
like
Go
to
ahead. Go ahead,
say,
Leslie.
I tell my mom, I told her this one time. I said, you know what? If we all had the mentality, if women had this mentality that somewhere on God's green earth, I am somebody's dream girl. I may not be your dream girl, may not be your dream girl, but somewhere I am the perfect image, the perfect personality, the perfect spirit. I am somebody's dream girl somewhere.
Mhm.
So that way we wouldn't always be trying to alter ourselves in order to fit into somebody else's cube,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
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 You say that, Leslie. I just saw this I don't know, it was a video, it wasn't a story, but anyway, this woman was with her daughter and she said she had a plate on top of a bowl and the
Mhm.
plate covered the bowl. And so she said, I want you to put this plate in this bowl. And the little girl said, that's not going to work. He said, no, you try. And she couldn't, of course. It wasn't going to, So she
Yeah.
said, this is the only way this plate will fit in this bowl. And she covered everything up with a towel and she beat the plate till she broke it into pieces.
Whoa.
Then the plate fit in the bowl.
Whoa.
And what she was trying to teach her daughter is you don't have to be broken. You don't
Yes.
have to be somebody else to fit somewhere else.
Whoa.
Right.
You know?
Whoa.
Right.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely. That's powerful.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa. That's powerful right there.
Yeah.
That's powerful. You know what it made me think of? A young lady who I befriended in the early 70, well, maybe early 70, 80s. Yeah, yeah. And I befriended her because she came into our family through my brother. My
Mhm.
brother eventually broke up with her. He didn't want to be with her, but she had such a hard time with that rejection that she got with this guy. Very intelligent woman. She had her own home, wonderful job, made a lot of money. But when she got with this particular man, my God, did he break her down?
Oh, wow.
And eventually, her mom, I was friends with her mom, and her mom was like, "Can you talk to her? Can you?" I said, "I've tried everything." I said, "In order for our friendship to remain intact, I have to pull away because it's violent. It's invasive into not just her life, but her friends' lives. And I've been a part of it, and I have to pull away." It took her 15 years to get out of it. 15. And by the time she got out, she was so broken. And
Yeah.
still today is so broken, so broken,
Yeah.
so broken. Only because she didn't know her self-worth.
Right.
Mhm.
That's so sad.
And when men know that you don't understand your self-worth,
Right.
then they shoot those bullets. You're fat. Who
Mhm.
would want you? You're
Mhm.
ugly. You're
Mhm.
ugly. You walk funny. You
Mhm.
smell funny. Those are all
Mhm.
bullets, and they
Mhm.
hit your chest, and you remember
Right.
that, and you
Right.
forget who you are. What
Right.
attract?
Mhm.
Why did he look at you in the first place?
Mhm.
Right.
But 15 years of her life were
Wow.
wasted, and it's going to take another 15 to heal because she refuses to go for counseling, still on the same path, still chasing. That's why I don't chase men. Yeah,
Mhm.
still chasing. I do not chase men. I look, but I'm not chasing you, buddy. I'm gonna look and never turn away like,
Like,
yeah, you look good, so what? You ain't the only man I would chase is married. He's a famous actor.
oh my God, we know.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't chase him, but I'm telling you, I'd be like, hey.
Hello.
Famous chocolate actor. Woo!
Not
But
chocolate.
yeah, he's chocolate, baby. And that's not really my tea, but he's chocolate. But he's fine. But anyway, let's move on. Love's aftermath. What lessons did we learn that we didn't ask for, but we needed?
That's a good question. And I will pass it on to my sister, Leslie.
I'm going to say, growing up when I was young, not even a teenager, and then in my teenage years, I would always hear my great grandmother and my mother say, "Girl, you better make sure you have your own. Make sure you have your own. Don't depend on nobody." But then when I got into church, the story is different. You're supposed to depend on your husband. He's supposed to be your covering. He's supposed to do this. You're supposed to, he's supposed to provide everything. He's supposed to. So it was a conflict. And even as a child, I really didn't know what that meant when my mom said, have your own. I didn't understand that until I got much older, And now being, in my 50s, I know, oh yeah, you have a husband. And yes, he believes God and all of that, but yes, you are still supposed to have your own. As a woman of God, yes, your husband is your covering, but God is your covering too. God is the head, right? So for me, the lesson has been no matter how secure you think you are, no matter how secure you feel or don't feel, that it is important that you have your own. And it's not an insecurity blanket, oh, in case something happens. No. I think whether married or single, you should always depend on God to have your own. Depend on God to provide for you. Anything can happen. Your husband could pass away. He could walk out and take the trash out, never come back. You don't know. So for me, I've always been a planner and a preparer, and so for me, it's been, have your own. Depend on God for whatever it is that you want or that you need, and that is your safety area. Yeah.
That's good. That's real good.
That's good.
The lesson, I'll just say the lesson I learned was lesson number one was that growing into adulthood, because of a lot of trauma in my life as a child, that framed how I thought and about myself, as well as what I saw in others. So growing up, I did not know that as I got older, and I started to come into the realization that, okay, you got a little, you need to see somebody. I'm just gonna say it like that, because my identity of who I was as a young woman, even coming up into 40, 50, like you said, we're ever learning, we're always learning, right? And I'm still coming to know that, I'm still learning. So afterwards, I guess I would say after the lesson is another lesson. That's probably the best way I can put it.
You know what I learned? I learned resilient. I learned just how resilient I can be. I learned how to be versatile, meaning not so resistant to change, but if you need to pivot, just pivot quickly to be ready for anything. That's what I learned. Pivot, don't be so starch and stiff. Be open and willing to change.
That flexibility.
Be ready to pivot at any moment and know that your heart is not going to break. You are resilient.
Yeah,
it's not going to shatter. It may hurt for a moment, but it's not going to shatter.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Very good. Would you date outside of your race, Asena?
I would, and I can say this for surety because a while ago, much longer, maybe 10, 15 years ago, and when I was telling the Lord I'm waiting for my my mate to find me. And I had in my mind, I had who that should be, what he should look like, what he has to have. He has to know Jesus, of course. He has to do this and he has to do that. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, now, how are you going to tell me how to prepare who I have for you? So at that point, because I had issues with another race. I did. But when he said that to me, I realized I am blocking God's hand. I'm putting his hands behind his back because I'm telling him what I want. And he has a field out there. So I can't, yeah, I would. I'm a long way to say,
Okay.
answer, I don't have a problem.
Okay. Okay. All right.
How about you?
I say no, only because what I'm attracted to, I'm hoping that God is in agreement with me. Nothing wrong with the other brothers of other nationalities, but I like Black men. I might date a Hawaiian, somebody, because the men in Hawaii are fine as oh my gosh, they're fine. But I have a preference. I like Black men. I do like Black men.
Now, I do too. I do too.
We all have our preferences.
Right. But that was a wake-up call for me when he told me that. You blocking me.
And
And even if that isn't anyone of another nationality for me, that was me releasing that to him. That's what it was.
Okay. And what's strange is the Caucasian brothers have no problem in approaching me. No problem. It's these African American brothers that stand by and look and should I, should not. And by then, if you like vacillating, where's your courage, man? I ain't interested. Get your courage. I'm looking though. Get your courage up. It's just a matter of, hey, how are you? But Caucasian brothers, they'll walk up, hey, how you doing? You're beautiful. What's your name? And I'm like, I'm not interested. Immediately.
Yep.
Immediately. I remember I was in J. Alexander with my daughter. We were sitting down and there was a man at another table and he came to our table and I thought he was coming to talk to my daughter, but he got down on his knee and was right in front of me. I was like, good God Almighty, man. No, I ain't interested. I was embarrassed because I'm here with my daughter. I'm embarrassed. He said, oh, can I have your number? I'm like, oh my God. I'm looking at my daughter's face. My daughter thought it was funny.
I'm like, I'm out of it. I don't.
She was there.
Nothing to do with that at all.
Then she said, Mom, I said, Leslie, I'm not interested. I mean, I'm just not interested in him. And so he asked me, he said, what is it? Why won't you give me your number? And he said, is it Jesus? I said, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Blame the Lord. Blame it on the Lord.
I'm sorry. I just saw, it's like a flag went up like, No, but no, my preference is Black men. I will ask you this. Would you use a dating site to find a partner?
No.
I would neither. I would neither.
Not interested in that.
Yeah, I would neither. I need to face-to-face contact. I need to see humanism, mannerisms, hear your voice. No. Final round. I'll give you this statement. I've seen it. Love may have broken our hearts, but God never wasted a single piece of them. He was teaching us to love wisely, deeply, and without losing sight of ourselves again. Expound on that.
I will say this. I had a friend who was having issues with relationships and stuff, and he would always talk to me about it. And the comment I made to him was, God is not asking you to trust anybody with your heart but him. And that's how I live with, with where I am right now. And I think I might have veered off a little bit of your question, but that came to my mind as far as the relationships. Now say your question again, because I don't want to get off of that.
I just want to say this part. God never wasted a single piece of the broken heart.
Right. Okay. So that part, he doesn't. We learn from that. It hurts. Um, we have to allow him to heal that part of our heart, though, because if we don't, we're going to block it off and
Yes.
not even trust him with relationships.
Yes. 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 For you, Leslie, love didn't break my heart. Ignoring the truth did. And
Mhm.
God used the breaking to restore my sight.
Wow. Yeah. I'm going to say that part of me seeing myself for my full value and who I really am is part of the seeing, the restoring the sight of who I am, because sometimes you get caught up in your relationship or your marriage or being a mom, being this, being a business owner, and you forget who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard this message. I think we listened to it together. TD Jakes preached it. It's called "I Didn't Know I Was Me."
Ooh, that's powerful.
And when I heard that, I said, "Oh my God. Have I actually somewhere along my life's journey, have I forgotten who I am?"
Hmm.
And I was like, I forgot. I did, just like he
Mhm.
said, I didn't know who. And
Yes.
so for me, it's been like, okay, never lose yourself. It's very
Yes.
possible to lose yourself in the life's journey. Things
Yes.
happen.
Yes.
You forget who you are, and then I have those moments, and my mom will reel me back, and she'll be like, "Hey, do you know who you are? You must have forgot. You
Hmm.
know, do what you got to do to get that back in your mind about who you are." And so
Yes.
I make that a habit of, like you said, it didn't break me, but it caused me to reflect more frequently. Like now I do it every day. Like, okay, do you know who you are? Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
Look at yourself, go to God. Okay, you're not perfect, but do you remember who you are? And so that's my way of not um forgetting who I
Yes.
am.
I
Staying
like
in.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us have to do that at some
Yeah.
some point in our lives. I look at myself every day, age and all. You know, everything that I'm trying to perfect. I look at myself and I say, "Girl, you somebody. You are a work in progress, but you somebody. You
Yeah.
look good. You smell good. You somebody." And I
Mhm.
have to
Yeah.
remind, even at this, I have to
Yeah.
remind you
We
every day
do.
because you
Yeah.
come up against obstacles every day, all day in the world. Somebody is going to be mean or say something
Yeah.
curt or nasty,
Yeah.
but you have to remind yourself, look, I'm all that and a bag of chips
Mhm.
and a cupcake and a bunch of I'm all that. I'm all
Yes.
that. Not to be, not to put myself out as better than anybody else, but I
Hmm.
remind me that I am worth
Mhm.
something. I wrote
Yes.
this book, Worth More Than Rubies,
Yes.
Mm.
an encouraging word for women. Know your worth.
Mm.
Know who you are all by yourself. Become
Mhm.
whole all by yourself. You are
Mhm.
the complete package all by
Mhm.
yourself. And when you
Absolutely.
made up with somebody, they should be complete.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
You're complete
Right.
and you're complete.
Mhm.
That's the key. That's the key.
You
But
know.
it's oh, go ahead.
No,
Let's
I was
see.
just going to say. You mentioned about how we're bombarded with all these different things,
Yes.
but I'm also reminded how the enemy bombards our minds about that too.
Yes.
Hmm.
We don't look
Yes.
this, you don't look this way, or there's something wrong with your body over here, or you have to go to the doctor over here. Why you got to go to the doctor? The enemy is always,
Yes. Yes.
always.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, we do have to keep saying to ourselves, no, I know who I
Yes.
am.
Yeah.
Don't come with me with that foolishness.
Yes.
I am
Yes.
fearfully and wonderfully made. That's who I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That just happened to me. I was leaving church and my knee was hurting. Oh my God, my knee was hurting so bad. I was like, Lord, you got to help me walk out of here because I can't walk out of here like no cripple.
I know you.
I said, you
No.
better help me watch my car because I came in here cute. I'm leaving cute. My knee was hurting so bad. I said, okay, let's get it. But the mindset, the
Yeah.
mindset, we want to look our best. We
Hmm.
want to present our best, but I still say what we have, limp and all, is good enough. It's
It's
good
wonderful.
enough. It's good
Yeah.
enough. It's good enough. I'm
Yep.
working on it. I'm
Yep.
working on it. And
Amen.
it's working
Yeah.
out better, but it's working for my good. But it
Yes.
lets me know that if I'm concerned about a little limp, Other women are concerned about other things.
Yes.
My
Yeah.
own
Yeah.
sisters would be like, I'm too dark.
Yeah.
I'm ugly because I'm dark. And
Yeah.
I'm like, but when the boys look at the three girls together, they always say you the cutest. You
Mm.
know, my sister's gorgeous, but they say you pretty. But
Mhm.
I said, oh, in her mind,
Her mind.
Yeah.
because she's dark skinned, she's ugly. Or
Yeah.
in another person's mind, oh, I don't like my nose. Oh,
Mhm.
I'm ugly.
Mhm.
No, no. I like what you said, Leslie, when you said, I am enough. That
Yeah.
whatever. I'm somebody's dream girl.
Mhm.
Somebody, honey.
Mhm.
Somebody's dream
Amen.
Yes.
girl. You know,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
enough just like we are. Would
Yeah.
you ever get I would never get surgery.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
I would never get surgery.
No.
Not major, I might get an injection, but major surgery. Oh, I would never have like a total
Not now,
face.
no.
No, I would never do that. A total
Mm-mm.
facelift, only
No.
because age is. She's laughing. I just wouldn't. It's just me. I wouldn't do it. Somebody said, my daughter said, "Mom, when are you gonna dye your hair back black?" Never, never.
Never, ever.
That's never gonna happen.
My
I like my
God.
gray hair. I like it.
You know what? Your hair is so
Oh,
pretty, but
Lord,
and I'm
it's
gonna say why
that.
I'm laughing because if you go and get the whole facelift, guess what? That's still a 70-year-old body.
Right,
Yeah.
If
Right.
women go do that because they want to look better or they want to get
right,
someone younger, no,
right,
okay, you look younger here, but this part
right. You
you've been
still
on
got
this
to do
earth
the
so
bottom
many
part.
years. All these
Yeah.
parts right here, they've
Yeah.
been working for so many years. So no
Right.
matter what you look like, your legs have been walking
For
for like
70
70
years.
years,
Yeah.
right? Your kidneys, your heart, everything's been
Right,
here.
right,
So no
right,
matter what you do out here in here, yeah, you
right,
can't change
Yeah.
that.
right, right, right. That's so true. That is so
Yeah.
true. That's so true.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. We're going to conclude this session, but we have to give the women that watch this podcast um, the how to do it factor, the
Yeah.
nothing missing, nothing broken.
Broken.
And I want to say the first key is to recognize your worth.
Hmm.
Recognize that you are not an ordinary creature, but you are extraordinary in every single way. We have a temple. This temple is our house,
Yes.
and it is royal. And
Yeah.
every royal house has artillery, it has weaponry. Use the scripture Ephesians 6. That's what you should have in your house. Everything that protects you. We have defensive structures. We guard our heart. We don't just jump into relationships. ABC, okay, you with me? No, no, no. We guard our hearts. We have a military infrastructure, a framework, and that's prayer. We have prayer partners. We don't do it solo. If I start dating somebody, guess what? We're going to be on a Zoom call and I'm going to say, hey, what do you think of this man? I'm
Amen.
going to ask somebody. I
Right.
need wise counsel before I jump into a
Right.
relationship full force.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Um, the treasures within the
Yeah.
royal house,
Yeah.
your crown that God put on your head.
Mm-hmm.
We have to dress ourselves to match that invisible attire that God gives
Yeah.
us. And that's grace and humility.
Yeah.
You know, so many times we pay attention to the outward, but what about the grace on the inside and the humility on the inside? Fill yourself self up with those things. And then the symbols of rule. Those are your founding documents that declare your royal status.
Yeah.
When you got saved, that date was written in heaven. It is
Hmm.
a declaration that you belong to the kingdom and that you are a product of the kingdom and that you're royal and should be treated as such at all times, no matter what, no matter what. Personal artifacts. Be honest and open and in a truthful relationship with God. Sometimes I tell God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know what's going to happen today. I don't know why I'm feeling this way today, but help
Mm-hmm.
me out. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I don't like that person. I don't know why I don't like that person. I don't even know that person. Tell me what's missing in me. I always got to, we have to learn how to check in with the
Mm-hmm.
person that made us. He's our
Absolutely.
manufacturer. He's going to tell us where the defect is. Chapel items. In a royal house, there is a chapel. That's where our Bible is. You know, we got to have that. Our tools, journal. I journal every day. I try to journal every day, but I journal because I journal my requests. I journal the things that God did. I journal the things that I don't understand. I journal my wants and my needs. I've been divorced since 1995. So it's just been me walking. I journal. I journal. I tell God all about it. And He tells me all about it. But we have to do that. And our personal belongings, that's our uniqueness. Uniqueness. Stay unique to who you are. Don't try and duplicate what you see another woman wearing or doing.
Right.
Develop your own style of uniqueness. That's what God honors, and that's what your potential mate will honor. That's what He's looking for. He's looking for the woman that God told him is like this. She's got this kind of character. She does this. She walks this way. She talks this way. Don't deviate from who you are. Stay that way. I was reading about Abigail, and I think I was sharing this with somebody. She was mighty. She was a mighty. Here she is in the Bible. She's married to a fool. That's what the Bible says. And in one day, her wisdom, her prayer, her supply, she had a supply already stored. She's prepared. It paid off. It paid off. In one day, she met a man, told him who he was, never met him before. And when her husband died, immediately he knew, I'm going back to get that woman. Be prepared. Be prepared. Have a prayer life. Be discerning. We got to kick up our discernment sometimes. Amen.
Absolutely.
Anybody want to add anything?
I think you covered a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
You're on point.
All right. Well, I thank you, ladies. Remember, what was meant to break us didn't destroy us. God used it to sharpen our discernment, to heal our heart, and to teach us how to love again with a heart that knows its worth. We know our worth, and we want you to know your worth too. Our panelists here are also business owners. Leslie Boney, tell us about Gorgeous Brown Girls.
Well, Gorgeous Brown Girl Skincare was founded in 2016. I founded it because I was working with a lot of homeless women and children, and the women wanted skincare but couldn't afford it. So I started trying to make it so that I could give it out to the women, but I couldn't figure out, how to make all the products. So with a lot of searching, a lot of prayer and a lot of practice, I came up with my own skincare line so that I could give it to those women who could not afford skincare.
Wow.
So on my website, we have sugar scrubs and body oils, and this is just one of our top selling. This is what our body oils look like. So we have a lot of different scents. Everything is all natural. We have some unscented products as well for people with sensitive skin. And it's just been a blessing just to be able to serve. And most of our things we give, for nothing because women, we want to look good. We want to smell good, but you shouldn't be feeling bad because you can't afford to do that. So we give it out and we give trainings of how to take care of your skin and all of that. So our website is gorgeousbrowngirlskincare.com.
Asita, tell us about your book.
Okay. That's awesome, Leslie.
Thank you.
The first book it came out maybe in 16, I think, in this Earthbound. And Earthbound is the story of my grandson before he's born. So it takes place in heaven. And it's a book for worship. It's a worship. It's not a workbook. It's a story. And I used to always say about children, babies, have you ever been around a baby and the baby starts grinning and people would say, oh, he's got bubbles. He got bubbles. That's why. No, I don't believe that. I believe that babies are spiritual when they come. They're more spiritual when they get here. As they get older, they become more on the physical side. So babies can recognize angels that we can't see. That's why I write that, because babies can see what's going on in the spirit. Just like when we're leaving here, we're more spiritual when we're leaving than we are natural. So anyway, the story is it's a worship book about being obedient to God and how God will take us through the various realms of heaven in worship. The second book is Babies in the Great Cloud. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Babies in the Great Cloud. And I wrote this because a number of my friends had miscarriages.
Mhm.
And I wrote this for them. What happens when you believe God to have a child and then he blesses you with the child and then the child goes back?
That's right.
Um, there's a purpose that baby, you got pregnant with that baby.
Mhm.
Even if you never met the baby, God sent that child. There's a purpose why the child came. And that's
Mhm.
what this book is about. It's about the baby that they didn't have that actually changed their lives.
Wow.
And where can we find your books?
Oh, they're both Amazon. They're both
Amazon.
on Amazon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you. Ladies, I thank you for joining us today. And viewers, like, subscribe, share this video, and we'll see you on the next episode of Seasoned, Savvy, and Saved.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.